That takes us to the third topic, and one that is also a little controversial. Is DNA test necessary for a couple to do after childbirth? And one may wonder why this question. But why not it? Recently, we've heard stories of paternity fraud on the increase. A man, the last time, committed suicide, having discovered that none of the 4 children that he has is actually his. So imagine having invested time, resources, energy, emotion, bond with those children, only to discover in the long run that they are not his. So this has led many to advocate that it is very necessary that the DNA test is done early enough so that a man knows what he's up against. Not when you have invested your time, your energy, then you discover at some point that you are not the biological father. It is heartbreaking. In fact, it has led some to mental issues because they really find it difficult to come to terms with the reality of that these children are not theirs. So, I think it is both necessary and not necessary. And I'll say why in a matter of time. But let me get your views on this. So, who takes on first? Okay, the barrister should start.
Okay. Well, the word necessary means it is compulsory. It is not compulsory, but if a man requires it, considering how rampant paternity fraud is in the country as we speak, it is. And if you trust your person, because people will like to tell you that if you trust the person, it is not necessary. I disagree. If you trust the person, then it is necessary. Hey, look, I'm doing. I have a child. There should be a DNA test run just to remove all doubts, to clear all doubts. Because we as lawyers, we advise men, especially young men that are raising a family, even matured men raising a family, gathering income and building wealth, to write wills. And in the situation of writing will, it is important to know who your child is at the end of the day. It will be unfortunate if you have 3 and none belongs to you. If you have 3 and 2 belongs to you. If you have 3 and 1 belongs to you, it will be unfortunate. It will be very unfortunate. So the way our society has become, it's very important to demonstrate the trust the man has for you. You have to demonstrate it and concretize it. Let me use that word. Concretize the trust the man has for you by allowing that test to be taken on the child to confirm, remove all doubts that he is actually the father of the child. In fact, I would argue, I've seen it somewhere else, and I agree with the opinion that before the birth certificate is filled by the man, the test ought to have been run to verify that he actually is the father of the child. As a matter of practice, it should be adopted. But as it stands, it has to be, is a matter of choice. And I think it is, I would not use the word necessary, but very important, considering the reality of our society. Very important to run a DNA test and sort things out.
DNA test necessary for couple to do. I'll say it's not really necessary for couples to do a DNA test, and at the same time, it's necessary to prove your loyalty and your faithfulness. But you cannot just get married to your wife, maybe barely a year or 2 years, and start going for DNA test. Something will occur before that DNA test comes in. So to me, I'll first of all say that a man should do a fertility test before going into marriage. Yes, because doing that DNA test at childbirth, it's also important because if you don't trust your wife to a level, but to me, I don't. For a man going into a relationship to an extent that getting married to that lady, you don't trust her. I need you. In fact, I'll call you to question you. Why do you marry her? But if you married her, you love her, you trust her. So to me, DNA test is not also important. But if we are to be questioned, if our loyalty is to be questioned, our trust is to be questioned, then fine, I'm good. Like you said, it's good we do. It's also not good we stay off.
To respond to that issue of men carrying out a fertility test
Yes.
before marriage, it is a common practice in the Catholic Church. Okay, it's common practice in the Catholic Church that you carry out such tests to know if you actually potent enough to impregnate a woman. So it's not a new thing. It's something that from this perspective, it's something that they envisage will lead to issues. Okay. So it has to be resolved early. Likewise, the DNA test. I'm not saying that you are cheating on me. I'm not saying that the child does not resemble me. What I'm saying is, let's clear all doubts. And if you have nothing to hide, what is wrong with clearing all doubts?
Yeah, like I was about to say, there's nothing wrong in confirming your trust. Mhm. If at all there's
Why is it that? Why will you be having trust issues?
not really trust issues.
Because you are two different human beings learning to relate together. You are not siblings, you did not grow in the same house.
Right.
You met each other as strangers, you got to learn about each other. You don't know about each other's past, you don't know where each other have been to in each other's absence. So there is nothing wrong in this current society reaffirming that this child actually belongs to you by means of science. Nothing wrong with it.
So, Maris, are you trying to say that a man must do a DNA test?
I did not say must, that's why I did not use the word necessary. I feel it is, I'll go back to the word I used for the last topic. It is a practical thing to do. It is a practical thing to do.
And we must mention it clearly that when it comes to human behavior, there's no such thing as a perfect person. You can't vouch for a person 100%. So if you can't do that for a person 100%, it simply means that there is an element of doubt. Or that's the word. There's an element of doubt with a particular aspect or some aspects of the person's character. So DNA is really not out of place. And for me, I think also it is good that it is done at that earliest instance. Reason being that having to raise a child requires time, effort, resources, energy, emotion, that bonding. And we must admit it, some persons just can't come to terms with that reality that this child or the children they have is not theirs. And they end up committing suicide or end up having frustrated life, mental issues. In fact, their life goes south once that information is made known to them that these children don't be get away. And you see, like, what's happening. So to avoid all of those drama, I think person should, couple should agree that DNA test should be carried out. And also, a situation whereby the corruption that happens in government hospitals would have also played a part in the children not belonging or the child not belonging to the man. But then there's another argument to that thing. Because how do you explain that the child's DNA matches with the mother but does not match with the father? So if there must be issues with the hospital when it comes to this child was like it was exchanged, both parents should not have any DNA match with the child. So that settles that. But the situation whereby the child match with the mama but no match with the papa, and you see that maybe they swap the beginning from hospital. That does not stand to reason. So many people have decided that this should be done at this early stage so that they know what they are up against and avoid future drama. So on that note, if you ask me, I think it is necessary to avoid the unnecessary drama of the future.
It still stems from a place of mistrust. You do not trust your partner, enough. That's why you would tell her, okay, let's do a DNA test. I want to really be sure that this child is my child. And it's very sad to see in our society today. Ideally, when we give birth to a child, we rejoice and move on. Nobody goes to say, what if he be say, this became my own and all of that. Also, I would say that it's wrong for a woman to let a man raise and nurture a child that you are sure is not his own. It's very wrong to do that.
Alright, so I do not know if you have any further comments.
But grandparents and parents, barely did.
Yes.
And they live in a different society. It's not the same society. It's a far departure from what we used to have.
I feel like we, in our time, we are getting more aware of paternity fraud and all the deceits that can happen in a union. So our eyes are very open because it's possible that it also happened in their
Yes.
time.
It probably
Probably happened in their time. Some men raised children who were not there still today, but who is going to uncover that?
Yes. Thank you, science.
Science, right?
And actually, we were told that it's the woman that knows.
Who is father of our children?
So, if those mothers will tell you stories, you'll be shocked as to what you hear.
Let the sleeping dog lie.
Exactly. So, to our viewers, I think it will do us much good because to know what your thoughts, your views, and your ideas are about this topic. And how do you do that? Please leave a comment with us on the comment section. We'll be very much delighted to know that you have one or two things to say about the program for today. Thank you. Share, subscribe, and like. And we are very hopeful that in the next edition of our podcast series by Top Nigeria, we'll have much more viewers who will come to view this program as a result of your referral. Thank you.